Hi everybody and welcome to Betway segment of NFL football. I've got Zelim Nel. Zelim, how are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you, Kev?
Good. I thought we'd touch on a game, the Buffalo Bills traveling away to Arrowhead Stadium and facing my Chiefs. Your Bills, my Chiefs.
I was going to say, two teams close to our hearts.
Very close to our hearts. Two teams, the most prolific offensive teams in the early part of the season. I think they both scored 134 points.
Yep.
It's coming. I think the math's right. It's about 100. That's about 33 points a game.
High scoring offense.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing for my Chiefs is that they're giving up 31 points a game.
Well, yeah,
absolutely. Your Bills are only giving up 10.
We've got the best defense in the league, and unfortunately for you, the Chiefs' defense isn't really bailing out Patty Mahomes and some of the turnovers they're committing there. So.
Yeah, uncharacteristically. I mean, they lost. They beat Cleveland, which Cleveland's a good football club.
Yeah.
Then they lost to Baltimore, which we never should have. We had
1 pointer.
1 point. We were marching down the field for a field goal and turned the ball over. And then in the first 3 possessions of the San Diego game, we turned the ball over 3 times in or near the red zone.
Yeah.
So it's if not for those things, we'd be 4-0.
I think maybe Andy Reid has solved the problem, though. He's got Pat Mahomes throwing those underhand passes now to Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a touchdown. Maybe the too much velocity on the overhand.
You look at Helaire, who's notoriously not a fumbler.
Yeah.
Fumbled in the Baltimore game to give the game to lose the game.
Yeah.
And he fumbled one of the runs in the game against the Chargers. It's and the Bills, the Bills lost to a horrific Pittsburgh team. I mean, Russell, everybody's saying that he should retire, but Pittsburgh, they're talking about them winning 3 or 4 games this year and looking for a high draft choice, tanking the season already. But they've looked woeful.
I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh. It's been like that for a couple of seasons. We thought last year and the year before it had something to do with Big Ben's absence, but he's come back and they've still got the same issues. Those things haven't been resolved.
And he's looked so off the pace, so inaccurate. It's been a big surprise for a lot and Buffalo's defense is being shredded as well. So it's not as if
Well, Buffalo have got the best defense in the league in terms of points allowed, and I've got them in my fantasy team, and they are ripping it up for me. So I'm very appreciative of the Buffalo Bills D.
Well, at the moment, nice, and I bet on their coach to win MVP.
Yeah, that's a great call.
And I bet on Josh Adams to win MVP as well. So, it's I like Josh Adams.
Yep.
I like Buffalo. I mean, I grew up an hour and a half north of Toronto, so Buffalo were a team that was always on prime time for Canadians.
Yeah.
But as you know, I'm a huge Chiefs fan. Have been since '83, and. Let's get it. What do you think is going to happen at Arrowhead?
I think I'm giving it to Buffalo. I know they've said Kansas City are 2 to 3 point favorites, 2.5 point favorites. I think
the bookies have the Chiefs to win by 3 or more.
Yeah. So I've got Buffalo to go and win. I know Arrowhead is a notoriously difficult place to win, but I just feel like unless Kansas City's defense does a massive turnaround this week, I don't know how they're going to stop Josh Allen. I feel like the Bills D has a better chance of stopping that Chiefs.
The Bulls or the Bills?
The Bills D has got a better chance of stopping that Chiefs offense than the other way around. There's talk about the Chiefs moving Chris Jones back to nose tackle. They've been using him, or defensive tackle. They've been using him on the end a bit. And there's talk about how that's affected that D. I don't know enough about the Chiefs to say, but I can't see them turning it around defensively in such a short time span to stop this Bills offense. And I mean.
Yeah, it's not as if they haven't been playing these defensive schemes now for some time.
Right.
So, my thing is it's tough to criticize a Super Bowl champion 2 years ago and Super Bowl finalist last year. But I wonder why they have the defensive coordinator. Why not bring in somebody completely new?
Yeah, and sort of going back to when we started on the first show, we both, I definitely predicted a rematch at the Super Bowl. I expected the Chiefs to be there and thereabouts. They're 2-2. It can't continue forever. That's my only hesitation in picking Buffalo as, are the Chiefs going to go 2-3?
Well, they're dead last in their division, but it's a 17-game schedule this year.
Yeah.
So, look, it's proving to be a tough division. You've got the Chargers that are playing well. The Raiders, I think, will fall off.
Yeah.
But Buffalo has had a pretty easy schedule, eh?
It hasn't been too tough. Aside from Washington, they kicked off against Pittsburgh.
Who are woeful.
Who were not good, and they lost.
Yeah.
And then they blanked Miami.
Yeah.
They beat Washington
And blanked Houston.
and blanked Houston. I mean, the defense is just, you can't score against us, which is makes us very formidable, given that we've got this quarterback who you think is going to be the MVP.
Well, yeah, I think that Josh Allen is a stud, one of the premier quarterbacks in the league. He's got a lot of weapons. And it was, from a Buffalo point of view, it was nice to see them rushing the ball. They've added a lot more rushing to their game, which makes them a little bit more unpredictable.
Yeah. So talking about ads, I don't know if you've seen this, but the Chiefs have added Flash Gordon. Josh Gordon is back in the league, and he's playing for the Chiefs. And it looks like he's going to suit up this week. So after about 5, 6, 7 seasons of being banned for substance abuse, he's back, and he's a 6'3", 100-kilogram wide receiver who is, crazy gifted. And if he gets into any kind of form with Tyreek around and Travis Kelce.
Well, Tyreek had a huge game last week,
Yeah.
didn't he? 2 touchdowns.
Big.
And 2 backflips. And 145 yards in receiving.
Yeah.
And he certainly is a Mahomes' favorite target.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is Kelsey's been nowhere this year.
Exactly, and I think that's where the Josh Gordon comes in, is that he's this possession guy, big physical receiver who you can, in clutch situations, you throw it to him. He complements the speed in that skills position core that they've got at Kansas City. So,
Yeah, I think that the over-under in this game is about 56.5.
oh wow, so shootout.
Well, you got Kansas that can't play defense.
Sure.
And there's no way Buffalo's shutting down.
That offense.
No.
But they conceded 44 points in 4 games. I know it's not great opposition, but we're saying that they're going to basically concede 25, upwards of 25 against Kansas City.
Look, I think this could well be the last team to have the ball wins the game.
Yeah.
It could be, for me, as a huge Chiefs fan, it pains me to say this, but I think they've got this wrong. I think that the Bills should be favored on what I've seen. And again, it's going to come in fine margins, turnovers.
Yeah.
I think that the Bills steal this game, 35-34.
Wow, that close. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'll be happy with the win. I don't know whether Kansas City's going to score 34 points. I'm going to go for the under on that 56.
There's 2 halves, eh?
I'm going to say it's a bit closer. I think Buffalo are going to limit Kansas
Closer
City.
than 35-34.
No. What I mean is a lower score, probably that close. Yeah, sorry. Probably that close, but at a lower score.
Yeah. What's the score?
I'm going to say 25-23.
25-23.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
Look, depending on the weather, I don't know what the weather forecast is yet for Kansas City, but if it's not inclement weather, I'm definitely going on the over, and definitely going on the over. I can't bet against my team.
Speaking of weather, did you see the Monday night game with the Raiders against the Chargers? They had to delay the game by 45 minutes because of bad weather, but they're playing in a dome.
Yeah, but the sides of the dome were open. Eh?
But is electricity, is the lightning bolt going to shoot down into the stadium? I mean, they didn't evacuate the fans.
No. Well,
They were cannon fodder.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's so dangerous.
What a stadium, though. That can cost billions to build.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Kind of thinking the Guptas built
The
it.
NFL is not short of great infrastructure.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's a beautiful stadium. So I'm going to go Bills by 1.
Yeah, okay, cool.
You
I'll go Bills by, what did I say, 2, 3?
Yeah.
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 Let's have a look at another game, which is also going to be which is also in the AFC, the Browns and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Now, that's going to be another cracking game. Eh?
Yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert for the Chargers is just kid magic at the moment. Great quarterback, lots of weapons on offense.
They should be 4-0.
They should be
blocked
4-0.
field goal. They're a blocked field goal away from being 4-0.
Right.
And that was against a good Dallas team, which it turns out Dallas defense has been better than people expected, because
Yes.
people expect them to have a worse defense in Kansas.
Right.
And they haven't.
Right.
And, for those who don't know, Dallas is considered America's team, have been for a long time.
Yeah.
Huge fan base from Texas.
Yep.
So for the Chargers form to lose to a good Dallas team, yeah, they could well be 4-0 as well.
Easily.
They beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
And you've got Cleveland, who lost to the Chiefs
Well, that's
narrowly
what I was
on
gonna say.
day one.
Yeah.
but have a lot of weapons and a good defense.
Yeah, in a way, they're in the same boat. You know, this is going to swing one way or the other this week with this Cleveland Chargers game because they're both in a similar position. With I feel like they should have a better record than they have.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield comes in for such criticism, man. 3-1 team, and he's already coming in for is he the right guy, and is he, you know, it's like.
I think that's going to hang with him for the rest of his career until he wins a Super Bowl. I think he's just one of those guys. He's a lightning rod for criticism.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in the elite category. You
No.
know, he's not a Mahomes.
No.
He's not a Herbert.
But worse quarterbacks have won Super Bowls. You know, like Trent Dilfer's won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens.
Williams.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty.
Yeah, and better quarterbacks haven't, like Kelly.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Dan Marino.
Dan didn't win a Super Bowl.
No.
Right? No.
They
he
got beaten by the Bears.
That's right. So where would you lean on the Browns versus the Chargers? For me, I'm just going to watch the game. It should be a great game.
Yeah, I think that's where I am. Yeah, it's a difficult one to pick.
So say the bookies, 1.5.
Yeah,
And it could well be a pick 'em before kickoff.
right. I think you've got to go towards the Chargers, just the number of weapons they have. But, I mean, yeah, it's unfashionable to say, but I think probably the Browns, I'll give them the edge in this one. And I like Nicky Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think they've got a good ground game, which...
Yeah, I don't think it's a great
Chargers don't
matchup
have.
for the Chargers. They do. They've got a lot of weapons, the Browns.
Yeah, and Cleveland can keep them off the field. If they get the ground game going, then,
Eat up clock.
there you go.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Browns in this one to win.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We're on the same team here. Good.
Yeah. Any other games we want to talk about? There's a game in London for those early risers who want to have a bit of a punt on the Jets versus the Falcons. Now, whoever planned this game as a marquee game to showcase American football in London was smoking some serious peyote. The New York Jets versus the Falcons. And you couldn't get two worse teams going to London to showcase the NFL.
No, I mean, Atlanta are really struggling with Matty Ryan trying to get that offense going. They're not in a good place. Their defense is not great. And then the Jets are just a team that's in complete rebuild, new coach, starting to make progress, but obviously lacking consistency. So lots
And
of work.
something happened last weekend that's more rare than Heidi Klum and me dating passionately.
Is there something more rare than that?
Yeah, the New York Jets and the Giants both won.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
They'd been 0-6 for the year, and they both won. The Giants came back from an 11-point deficit against the Saints.
Great win for them. And that was without their two starting wide receivers. They did it with a banged up receiving core. Saquon Barkley finally broke out, and the Jets found a way to win.
Look, the Falcons, let's go back. The Falcons are favored by 3.
Okay.
And the Jets are a terrible football team.
That is true.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know how much confidence Zach Wilson gains from beating Tennessee. But Tennessee were without its 2 top wide receivers. So they just couldn't move the ball.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a bit of if they had those guys on the field, there's no way that they'd have won. I think they won by 3 points.
Yeah.
In that game.
Yeah.
There's no way they would have had that much possession.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team so bad without those 2 receivers, but they are 2 marquee receivers.
Well, the thing for the Jets is it's a complete turnaround now because the Falcons are not a running team per se. Matty Ryan airs it out. He's got these Calvin Ridley and the likes, and Kyle Pitts is in the mix.
Yeah.
Whereas with Tennessee, without those receivers you were speaking about, it was the Derrick Henry show.
Yeah.
So
One-dimensional.
it's a very different game for the Jets defense this week. They've got to stop this 40-pound running back coming straight between the tackles. Where last week they had to stop this running back coming between the tackles. This week it's going to be the
Henry
show.
still got 157 yards or something.
Correct,
in
yeah.
running yards. So they didn't exactly stop the run.
Yeah.
But Tennessee were pretty limited in terms of what they could do.
Other
on the
options.
field.
Yeah.
I like Atlanta in this game.
I mean, are we going to call it is that what is it, 3 points?
Yeah, I like the Falcons to just win outright. I'll take the money.
Okay, I'm going to take the Jets on this. I'm going to say
When you're a Jet, you're a Jet, huh?
they've got some confidence. I'm going to stick in the AFC East.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say Zach Wilson's turnovers tendencies are behind him, and he puts it together this week in the edge Atlanta.
Oh, I just can't bet on a guy that doesn't shave yet. You know.
You know who he looks like? A young Jim McMahon with the headband and
McMahon.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little bit of that. So interesting. So I've got the Falcons, the Bills, and the Browns. You've got the Jets, the Browns, and the Bills.
That's right.
Yeah, we were close.
Yeah.
Z, thanks for
Not too
coming
bad.
in,
Thanks, Kev.
and good luck.
Good chat.
Good luck with your team.
Same to you.
Thank you.